I've built 3 pretty large mocks on my channel, and the first one ever I built was the planet of Hoth, but I already made a video about that, so now we're moving on to our second mock, which is the Battle of Christophsis. That's right, in this video, I'm going to be rebuilding the Battle of Christophsis in 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and 1 hour. So let's get started with the first build. For my 10-minute mock, I wasn't going to include any action, but I did manage to get a 32 by 32 mock into the time span. Since building the floor isn't really that much time spending, I managed to quickly get the octagon pattern on the floor and quickly managed to add in some speeders and some minifigures. Overall, I think this mock turned out really well, and with only 10 minutes to build, a 32 by 32 stud base plate is quite the big mock. The mock depicts 2 clones out on patrol coming back and checking in with their captain at a clone outpost. So that was the 10-minute mock. Let's move on to the 30. Seeing that in my 10-minute mock, I could fit a whole 32 by 32 stud base plate, for my 30-minute mock, I decided to go with a 48 by 48 large gray base plate. This could be easily done. However, I did mess up the floor pattern the same way I did when I was actually making this mock for the first time. So 10 minutes down, 20 minutes to spare, I quickly hesitated on whether or not I should keep it or not, decided to rip it all up. Definitely a little time consuming, but easier than I thought. So I quickly finished off the correct pattern on the floor and started making my way over to the wall. I remembered the basics of how I did it last time and really implemented the wall into this mock. So all I had to do is just top off the top of the wall, and with roughly 5 minutes left, I just have to add in the minifigure, which was really intense coming down to the wire. I managed to get it all on the mock with no time to spare. Overall, I think this mock turned out really well, although since I was rushed, I kind of just put the clones in one single file line, which I'm not too proud of. I'm happy with how the destroyed AAT turned out, as those were a huge feature in my first mock. So for cutting so close to the time limit, I think this mock turned out really well, especially with the few pattern mistakes I made in the beginning. Now for the final mock. I only have 1 hour, and when I was deciding what I wanted to do with this mock, I was thinking of including a building or maybe some crystals. But in the end, I went for size over build, so it's just basically a bigger version of the first 2. I started off with the wall this time because I wanted to make it to scale of how the first mock was. I needed to plan out how much room I needed for it. And this took up a lot of my time, a little more than expected or wanted, bringing me all the way down for just half an hour for the rest of the mock. That's right, 1 wall on 2 base plates took me half an hour. So after I finished the wall, I got to work on the octagon pattern on the floor. I started to mess that up too, but it wasn't that severe, so I quickly redid it and made it work, which again took up a lot of time. When I was completely finished with this pattern on the floor, I only had 10 minutes to add in the minifigure. I'm just glad I didn't mess up even severely on the pattern on the floor, because in the end, I would have just had to keep it and run with it. So then with only 10 minutes left, I got to work adding in the minifigures. I added an ATTE, 2 droid speeders, and 2 corporate alliance droids, as well as just added a whole bunch of lines of droids and a whole bunch of clones battling each other. So overall, I think this mock turned out really well. I'm happy with how much I was able to get done, and this video has been super nostalgic for me. This 1 hour build was only a 1/5 of the actual mock, which is absolutely crazy because I only got it done in 1 hour. But I was super happy being able to add in an ATTE, as well as Captain Rex and Commander Cody. I do have 2 Commander Codys that I added in the 30-minute mock and the 1 hour, which really came in clutch. Overall, I'm really happy with how these mocks turned out. I'm super surprised with how much I was able to get done in each of these time frames. Although the time frames also did limit me a lot, as every single one of these mocks is basically just a copy and paste of the next one. I really wanted to add in some blue crystals into the mocks, or maybe a building, especially because I have a lot of those blue tiles. But like I said earlier, this video is super nostalgic for me, especially because Christophsis has been by far my favorite mock I've ever built. So revisiting this idea with better building techniques is super fun for me. Although I didn't execute them to all my likings, they still turned out pretty well. So if you haven't watched my original building Christophsis, I recommend you go do that right now. I hope you guys enjoy this type of content. Leave a like down below if you did. Consider subscribing to my channel, as I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers quickly. But that's it for this challenge. I'll see you all in the next video.